Welcome back to K5J Gaming, and today I want to talk to you about my Divine Embrace build. I started to use this build when it was referred to me in a raid where I was the only healer, and boy was that tough. But they sold me on Divine Embrace. So let's get into the build. I am using, as far as life staffs, the Corrupt Progenitor life staff. If I said that word right, I put a cut pristine diamond in it. I also have Blessed, Refreshing Move, and the talent Refreshing Divine Embrace. Let's look at the talent. When Divine Embrace is used on a target below 50% health, it reduces the ability's cooldown by 73% and gains 6.2% of your max mana perk max 1 stack at all. Light and heavy attacks reduce your active weapons cooldown, which procs the Divine Embrace within like 3 seconds, which is one of the reasons that I like using it. And obviously Bless is for more outgoing healing efficiency. I obviously was using the Hoplite life staff, which gives me Bless, and Fortify Sacred Ground is what it comes with. But because I have Fortify Sacred Ground on my pants, which is something I'm going to change pretty soon, I had to go with a different talent on the life staff. I'm running the Life Taker. Pretty much self-explanatory. If you finish the game, got the level 65, you know how to get the Life Taker. But for those who don't know, Negative Energy, Keen, Life Steal, and Refreshing Move, and Petrify and Scream. I would like to change this because I'm not using Petrify and Scream, and I will tell you guys what I'm using. But I would like nullifying Oblivion on this, simply because I'm using a Nullifying Oblivion talent, or the Orb of Decay talent. For the pieces, you don't need to use this. You don't need to use the Hoplite. I just got this stuff from the raid, so it kind of makes it an in-game build. But for me, if you go with these perks, forget the Hoplite mask and everything like that. If you just go with the perks, I put a Nature Ward in it because I'm majority doing raids. So I put a Nature Ward in it. It comes with Enchanted Ward, Refreshing, and I put Mending Protection on here. I have a Hoplite t-shirt that I put an Elemental Ward on there, and it has Enchanted Ward, Refreshing, and Health. I would like to change this Hoplite t-shirt and put another Life Taker talent on there, another ability, and take out one of those refreshings, because as you can see, I'm over by 3. Here we go, another Hoplite. And again, you do not have to use Hoplite. You do not have to use Hoplite. This is just stuff that I got from the raid, but you need to focus more on the talents when you're building your life staff healer build. But I have Enchanted Ward and Refreshing. And again, I would like to change that Refreshing for health, or just get another piece, because I don't really use Empower and Breaker. But if anything, I would like to change out that Empower. When I do change it out, I'll get Enchanted Ward, Refreshing, and I'll just put health on there for a little bit more health. The Attuned Leather Pants. I have a Sighted Slash Ward to get me some damage absorption from the Slash Ward. You know, my range attacks deal 1% damage, which I guess range life staff, but it's not really a big deal. I could switch these out. I use these for a different build too, so I could switch these out and put some onyxes in there, you know, to kind of help me take some more damage mitigation. But it comes with Elemental Aversion, Refreshing, which again, I'm over it. Don't kill me in the comments. And Fortify Sacred Ground. You need that as a healer too. If you don't have Fortified Sacred Ground, you're not healing right. And on my boots, I definitely need another pair of boots, but I like what I got. Elemental Aversion. I have an Elemental Ward in there. Obviously Refreshing again. You know what I would like there. Enchanted Ward maybe instead of Refreshing, and Health. These are the best boots that I've can find thus far. I know I can buy some, but I'm not about to get overcharged for what they did to the Cold Crush. I gotta switch this out. I don't know why this is here. I have a much better heart rune than this. I have the Hoplite amulet. Now, of course, I know I can get a better amulet, and I do have a better amulet. I just haven't put it on yet because I really like the health and the thrust protection that I get. And if I want to switch it out, I have other ones that I can switch it out to, but I don't actually have it equipped right now. Let me see. Here it is. Nope. Where is my other one? It's probably in my stash right now. But also with this ring, Elemental Ward again, Purifying Heart, lose all debuffs per stacks. For my heart rune, obviously I definitely want to take that out, but I got Sacred for outgoing healing efficiency. Could use a better ring. I don't want to use the Hoplite ring because I don't do anything with blood, so it doesn't make sense. My earring, I'm running with a Physical Ward And it is time. Refreshing, toast, and nimble. Getting more stamina, because for some reason stamina has been killing me. Once I throw out all of my talents, it's like I don't get it back in time, and it's like stamina is taking forever. So these ain't the best earrings. I got better jewelry than this. I just haven't really gone through my jewelry yet, but there's some things that I know people in the comments would love to switch out. But this is what I run so far. It's been effective for me, and sometimes I might switch things out depending on when I'm actually going through my gear. But this is pretty much the gear. Again, you do not need, you can run Azoth. You can put this in place of Azoth if you get it, but just focus more on the talents. I would just focus on getting Enchanted Ward, get your 4 on refreshing. And then, if you don't really need health because you're kind of healing. So if you want, you could switch out your healing talents. You can switch out health for more talents from your life taker and more healing talents for your life staff, if that was being my opinion. But this is what I got so far. And let's get into the talents on the life staff. So I'm running Orba Protection, as you can see here. I got Orba Protection, which shoots out a light projector that grants 20% fortify for 10 seconds, heals an ally for 8% of weapon damage, and deals 140% 6% nature damage when it hits an enemy. For that, I went down the tree for Orba Protection. For the side talent, I took Protector Strength. If you have a buff or outgoing healing, is increased by 20%. When you come over here, Blissful Touch, light attacks now heal for 16% when passing through. If you're running raids, or if you're running dungeons or expeditions, or if you're just running PvP, you shoot through a lot. So this is like, Blissful Touch is one of the talents that I would never get rid of. If you go to Sacred Ground, if you don't know what Sacred Ground is, then you're not healing. You're not a healer. I take the tree all the way down on Sacred Ground. I got Revitalize. When you hit with a life attack, reduce your life. Basically, you hit somebody, you're going to reduce your life staff abilities. You need to be hitting people just to reduce your life staff. And this is why I'm going to tell y'all while I use Divine Embrace in a second. This right here is a perfect reason why. Enchanted Justice, when hitting the battle, activate a healing aura for you and your nearby friends in a 4 meter radius. 4 meter radius. The aura heals for 8% weapon damage. So when you get in there with your Void Blade, after you drop your Oblivion and you trying to do some damage to help out, because healers should be helping out in raids and they should be helping out in expeditions, this would be a perfect talent for you to use. Intensify, when you hit with a heavy attack, gain a stacking bonus of 10% 10% bonus to outgoing healing effectiveness for 10 seconds. Self-explanatory. Then we move over to Desperate Speed. When you heal an ally below 50% health, life staff, we're getting more cooldown. We're getting more cooldown. Life staff ability cooldowns are reduced by 10%. Sacred Protection. When holding the life staff, increase the amount of healing for non-consumables and lifesteal healing sources to all friendlies in your group by 10%. This is like the bread and butter of what a healer is supposed to do. And then obviously Divine Blessing. When you heal an ally below 50%, they heal for 30% more. Now let's get to the bread and butter. Creates a Divine Embrace. The cooldown is 4 seconds, right? So just think about it. I have a 4-second cooldown, but when I hit somebody with a refreshing move, just think about how fast. So this is like a ongoing healing. So you never stop healing when you have Divine Embrace. Creates a 0.50 meter radius around an ally or a location on the ground that heals the target within for 120% weapon damage. So you don't necessarily have to hit a target. You just have to have that aura around them, and they're going to get healed. And it's like an ongoing heal that keeps you just going. And I took it. It costs mana, right? But if your target is below 50% health, heal one additional ally within 8 meters for the same amount. So now you're spreading your healing around throughout this whole aura. So when you're teaming up against the second boss, or you got all in on the first boss, these are things this is why Divine Embrace is so important to me and why I was introduced to it. So now I'm introducing it to y'all. Rebound. If an ally healed by shared struggles below 50% health, heal another ally. So this is healing the dude next to you. This is healing the dude that's next to the dude that's next to the dude. So I mean, come on, it kind of heals everybody within it. And in the rate is 4 seconds, 4.7 seconds. So technically, when you throw it out and you hit something and you keep hitting something, the cooldowns is so quick. It's really like 2 to 3 seconds, maybe. So this is why I like this, because it's just an ongoing heal throughout the whole process. I know that was a little bit too much, but let me let me go to the Void Gauntlet now. I'm running Nullifying Oblivion, bringing that down. You need Nullifying Oblivion. Attack weakens inside, so you're getting weakened inside by 5 seconds per 5-second hit, right? So 25% stamina regen for anybody who's inside, for yourself and anybody else who's inside the radius. Then I'm going for Void Blade. This is where your damage comes in at. You want to be doing damage in Void Blade. You don't want to sit back and just being that healer that's not producing no damage. You need to help your team, because all damage is good damage. You know what I'm saying? And then I took it all the way down. I'm not going to read every talent because I feel like Void Blade is second, but it's very important as well. And let me move this over here real quick so people can see. I'm sorry about that. Now we have Orb of Decay on this side. And I took, like I said, I took Void Blade all the way down, and I went with Refreshing Fertility and Empowering Proximity. Orb of Decay. I took Orb of Decay down. This is like my Powerball healing right there. You know, you shoot your projectile out, it does weapon damage, but it also gives you back health as well. So I took that all the way down with Radiant Efficiency and Cleaning Harvest. You can kind of go through the talents, but these are the talents I use. Everybody's going to use different talents. Everybody's going to tell you something different. So you kind of go with what you know and what you like. But this is just what I like when I use my Life Staff and Void. Now we're going on to the attributes, and this is where the Life Staff, everything, all the abilities take place, right? On to the Life Staff, and this is kind of where all things flow through the Life Staff. I'm running with 352 focus. You only need 350. Anything else after 350, you out of pocket, you ain't healing right? I could lower it now. This is where it gets tricky. I like 150 con. This is what I like. Right, I can play at 100 and I can boost this up. So let me take a food right now. Right, let me see if I got an Intel food on me. I should have an Intel food on me. Where's my? I gotta get these food things down packed. Oh, here it is. It's the fruit salad. So I'll just take it. Right. So as you can see, I went to 177 on that, right? And that's for my Void Gauntlet, because I want to still do some damage and I want to help out, you know, my team with damage. So if I was to drop this to 100, I can still get this up to 200 plus intelligence and do massive damage with my Void Blade and my Oblivion. So you kind of want to you don't want to just sit there and be a stagnant healer. You want to get in and get your work in. You get in, drop your Oblivion, whatever you're doing, hit, back out, heal, jump back in the fight. It's not just about staying back and just healing like that. So I can also drop my 150, but this is what I play. This is what I feel comfortable in playing in. Everybody is different. And that pretty much sums up my healing build for Divine Embrace. As you see from the gameplay earlier, and you're going to see from some more gameplay that I love running this build. Right now, this is my favorite build, and I did it. I was proud of myself because I did it. I had the help of DPS, but I did it as a solo healer in a raid. And I'm like, how can you do this solo? They was like, we believe in you, K5. We believe in you. And they was like, just run Divine Embrace. And I was always against Divine Embrace, but they kind of brought me back down to reality and kind of showed me. And this is what I'm showing y'all. So when I get the information, I'm going to spread that love. I know I need some more work in the build. I just started using Divine Embrace, and I'm definitely going to start switching some things around, especially with my jewelry. I got to get my jewelry right, but this is pretty much the build that I use. Thank y'all for tuning in. K5J, I'm out. Peace.